Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the Sindh High Court. Now, this isn't just any court. It holds the final say on justice for over 50 million people, and it shapes, well, pretty much everything, from business to family life, in one of Pakistan's most vital provinces.
So, to really get a sense of just how crucial this court is, think about this. It serves a population larger than Spain or even South Korea. That's huge. For millions of people, its decisions are the final word on justice. It's really the last stop before a case could ever hope to reach the Supreme Court of Pakistan.
All right, first things first. What exactly is Sindh's highest court? Let's break down its fundamental role and, what it actually does. Okay, so at its heart, this is the top judicial body for the entire province. Its main seat is in the capital, Karachi, and from there, it acts as the ultimate court of appeal. That means it has the power to review and even overturn decisions made by every single lower court in Sindh. And its reach? Oh, it goes way beyond just Karachi. The court runs what are called circuit benches in other major cities, which is a fantastic way of bringing justice closer to people all across the province. With a bench of 40 judges, that's a lot. It manages a massive caseload. And get this, its rulings stand firm unless they're challenged at the very highest level, which is, of course, the Supreme Court of Pakistan. All right, now let's talk history. Because this modern institution, well, it wasn't built overnight, not even close. Its foundations actually stretch back over a century, evolving all the way from the era of British rule right up to the present day. You can really see the key steps in its evolution right here. I mean, it all started back in 1906 under British administration, and then it got formally established as a chief court in 1926. But the real game changer? That was 1937. That's when Sindh became its own province, and that's the moment the court gained the authority and the structure that it pretty much holds today. It really cemented its role as the region's top judicial power.
And if you want to understand the sheer ambition behind this thing, just look at the cost of its main building. We're talking over 3 million rupees back in 1929. That was an absolutely incredible investment for the time. It was basically a clear statement that this institution was built to last, to be a permanent central pillar of justice for the entire region.
So, that's the history. But how does all that inform its modern structure? Let's take a look at how the court actually works today. Okay, so the court has this really critical dual role. For most of the province, it's what's known as an appellate court. That just means it reviews decisions from lower district courts. But in a massive, complex city like Karachi, the High Court also acts as the main court of session, which means it's the first court to hear some of the most serious criminal cases. So, what does all this actually look like in practice? Let's move away from the theory and jump into the real world by looking at the kinds of judgments the court is handing down, day in and day out. Here's a really powerful example. The court actually weighs in on public integrity. A ruling like this one can determine who is legally qualified to hold public office. Think about that. It directly impacts governance and accountability for everyone. And then, of course, it handles a massive range of criminal cases, everything from minor offenses all the way up to major smuggling rings. And it's making these critical decisions along the way, like deciding whether or not an accused person should be granted bail. And it's not all big criminal cases. It also handles these deeply personal civil cases that have a huge impact on families. Take this one, for example, ruling on the pension rights of a divorced daughter. I mean, that's a decision that really affects family law and social welfare on a very personal level. What's also super interesting is that the court defines its own limits. Here, it actually declined to hear a case about some seized oil tankers because the whole incident happened outside its territory. This kind of thing reinforces that crucial legal principle of jurisdiction. It's the court clarifying exactly where its power begins and, just as importantly, where it ends. So, look, those were just a few quick examples. The court's daily docket covers this enormous spectrum. You've got civil matters like property leases, really serious criminal cases involving life imprisonment, and then all these financial disputes over everything from pensions to income tax. Its influence really touches nearly every single aspect of life and business in the province. Which brings up a great question. How does a century-old institution, with these classic sandstone walls and deep, deep traditions, keep up with the 21st century? Well, let's take a look at how it's embracing the digital age. Believe it or not, the court has really embraced technology to make justice more transparent and accessible for everybody. Lawyers and even the general public can now search for case information online. You can get automatic updates about your case sent right to your phone via SMS, and you can even access court proceedings through a digital portal and a dedicated mobile app. It's pretty cool. So, what we've really seen is that the Sindh High Court is far from some static, dusty monument. No way. It's a living, breathing, dynamic institution that's serving millions of people while constantly adapting to new challenges. And that leaves us with a final, and I think, crucial question to ponder. As it moves into the future, how can an institution so steeped in history continue to balance the immense weight of legal tradition with the unstoppable momentum of our digital world?